This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at the Los Angeles Theater Center for the Roby Theater Company's presentation of No Place to Be Somebody. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Ben Gilroy. I'm the director of the play, No Place to Be Somebody. And I'm producing artistic director of the Roby Theater Company as well. I've always admired the play for the last almost 35 years. I've always admired the play. The poetry of it, the uncompromising language of it, inner city, very raw language, uncompromising. I grew up around that. And the idea of the social consciousness of the play, because it really is about transformation, about changes, about people going through a change. The play was written in 1969, Pulitzer Prize winning play, New York. And I knew Charles Gordon, who's passed now, and he was just an exceptional, insightful poet and playwright. So it's always been a play that I wanted to produce and wanted to direct.
When I was younger, I had to read black poetry, and it was a requirement. I never really understood it. Sometimes I thought they were just like, poetry, like, it was like nursery rhymes. Sometimes I do understand people were having troubles, there was less fortunate people in the world, but I never really understood the pride behind it. I never understood the despair behind it, the unfairness behind it. I never understood that until I see plays like this. Then I kind of really get the interesting beats. I kind of get the meter. I kind of get the experience a little bit.
Well, to understand a culture completely, really, is not an easy thing. Any culture, I think. I spent time in Japan. I spent 9 weeks in Japan making a film. And I barely, just long enough to begin to understand a little bit about the Japanese culture. There's Hispanic culture. Because of course we're in California and Hispanic culture is prominent here. Try to understand that. Black culture is so layered, and it's a big part of what the play is about. Back in 1947, when Jackie Robinson was admitted to the was in the Negro Leagues and was drafted from the Negro Leagues by Branch Rickey. In 47, that was a turning point, a kind of pivotal moment in history where segregation, the doors of segregation, were opened to people of color. That changed the face of America in a big way. And from the end of the World War II, Jackie Robinson's admittance into the big leagues, until then, black culture was very much isolated. It was insulated. And when those doors of segregation opened, a lot of things happened. Some of it was good, some of it not so good, some people think. And they're still opening, of course. I mean, that was a small crack in the door. The play is about the changes that many went through. There was a myth of metropolitan success that was part of the exodus from the South through the North, the West, that a lot of people landed in Harlem. Their cast is entering. A lot of people landed in Harlem with the hopes of having a better life, which wouldn't take much after Jim Crow in the South, right? And the play is about many of those descendants who tried to get a better life, and there are some that succeed and some that don't. Some find a place to be somebody and some don't, is really what the story is about.
I love the play. I thought it was very shocking at times, very moving at times. I felt very nostalgic at times. I felt like I was transported back to the 1950s and 60s. Yeah, so I loved it. But also I was very impressed by the acting. And as a director, one of your hardest jobs is casting. What do you look for in your casting?
Strong, committed, truthful artists artists who are willing to really shed whatever inhibitions they might have to do and help tell the story. And there are 5 actors here from AMDA, an acting school. I didn't know they were all from AMDA. I didn't know that they had just, about 2 weeks before, graduated after a 2-year program. I didn't know that. But they were all so strong, so committed, that I hired all of them, and they had all just graduated, 5 of them. And they landed in the show, and I'm so glad because they brought commitment, they brought talent, they were always prepared, always game to try things, and they loved the play. So, yeah, you know, there's a lot of talented people around, gifted people around. I mean, after all, we're in Los Angeles, we're in Hollywood. People come here from all over the world to hopefully build careers in film and television, mostly, not careers in theater here. But there are those who are committed to theater, that love theater, that grew up in theater, that want to do theater, especially when they find out there's a lot of downtime, a lot of in-between time. And even if one's career is going well in film and television, there's a lot of downtime. And if one is a progressive actor, they want to be in a play. They want to do a play a year. So we've been very lucky here. I'm very lucky. And I can't say how privileged I feel to work with them. And they're very young. They're very ready, cocked and ready, you know? There they are right there.
Well, I was very impressed by your casting because I just reading the bios, I knew very well that they were inexperienced, but I was surprised that you found this caliber of talent, and they all meshed together so well. I feel you did an excellent job with the casting.
Thank you. You know, I think somebody said there's 5 secrets to directing: good script, casting, and casting. You get the right people, you know, you make them comfortable, and you give them the process to do. You make that possible, and a lot of things fall into place.
Once again, I love the play. Thank you very much for being on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. Nice to meet you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Leith Burke. I'm from New York. I live here in Los Angeles now. I went to school in San Francisco. I have worked regional theater across the country, Broadway, off-Broadway. Now I'm here at the Roby Theater. Happy to be here. Film, TV, you know, I'm a professional actor. I played Gabe this evening. Gabe Gabriel. Gabe is kind of the author and oracle of the play. The play opens with Gabe at his typewriter, and he explains to the audience that what they're about to see comes out of his imagination. Gabe is not only the author, but a character within the play, and shows up both within the scenes and outside of the scenes as sort of an oracle. He has certain asides and poems that he does during scene breaks and openings of acts, and but Gabe is sort of the seer and the creator, the omniscient, not necessarily narrator. I don't narrate as we're in the play, but it's his creation.
I loved your performance. I just loved it.
Oh, why, thank you very much, man. It's a fun piece.
You know, when I was younger, one of my requirements in college was I had to read black poetry. Mm-hmm. I never understood it. I mean, I understood it rhymed well. It had some kind of meter to it. It talked a little bit about, you know, people going through problems. Everyone has problems with that, but I never appreciated it until tonight, because you actually, the meter you put in it, the drama you put in it, the acting you put in it, I finally kind of understand some of it now.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, there's a couple elements to that. First of all, I was brought up with a love for language, which is very helpful if you're an actor. I come from a line of writers. My grandmother was a journalist. My brother is a professional poet in New York City. He lives in Brooklyn. So I was always around words. My parents used to have us write poems as kids. I probably wrote my first poem at the age of 6. And so, you know, that love of language has been with me all my life. The other thing is, being a classically trained actor, I've done a lot of Shakespeare, which teaches me rhyme and meter. Aside from just, you know, the contemporary environment of hip hop, but this was a different thing. So the poetry of these times, we're in 1969, and you know, the Lost Poets and Gil Scott-Heron and cats who were around then, I'm familiar with these cats. And that poetry, what you were missing by reading black poetry is that a lot of black poetry is meant to be performed. This is where hip hop comes from. These poems that were written were performed in front of a live audience, and when you have the body there and you can see the body interpreting the poetry, and you get to feel the rhythm of the poetry and that innate rhythm. I'm also Jamaican, which is kind of, I just like to say that, you know, that was the birth of hip hop. Jamaican, you know, it comes from Jamaica, people. But anyway, that's the part that was missing. It's hard. Black poetry is often hard to understand when it's read because a lot of it was written to be performed. That's why you seeing it performed tonight, it made more sense. That's my humble opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I love this performance. It was very dark, very gritty, very, I think, very nostalgic. It was actually very true to the times. What do you think about that?
Man, I mean, one of the reasons that I did the first reason I did the play was the poetry. I read this play and I saw those poems, and they just looked like such a challenge. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know how to get into it. I knew I loved the poems, and that to me was the hook.
Thanks for coming out.
The second hook was the time period. 1969 New York City. It's so romantic in my mind. Of like, I mean, there was so much going on. You've got the Black Power movement. You've got the hippie movement. You've got, you know, free love. You've got, you know, there was a sexual revolution. There were drugs. There were hustlers. There was just all this stuff. Hendrix. I say it again, Hendrix. I mean, there was just so much going on at that time that I was drawn, you know, to spend a few weeks, a few months to be able to live in that. You know, I grew up really kind of idolizing that. My uncles and aunts, you know, they grew up in that period, and I used to ask them about that all the time. Vietnam. I have articles from Vietnam in my closet right now from my uncle. You know what I mean? I remember that time period. I was small, but I remember all my people gathered around the television watching what was going on in Vietnam. I didn't know what was going on, but I remember, you know, I remember it, and it's not only nostalgic but romantic to me. And so this was an opportunity to live in that and to go deep into that. And you know, I've been listening to that music for weeks now, and it's beautiful music. It's beautiful. You know, everybody was playing instruments back then. There was no samples. There were no drum machines. It's all live, you know, and it's beautiful. Miles, you know, so much was going on. So that's why I'm here, because of that time period, really. Yeah. And I'm a product of that time period. I came out of free love, you know what I mean? I was born in '69, so I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, once again, I loved your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me, man, and thank you for coming. Come out, folks. Come see No Place to Be Somebody here at the LATC. It's a wonderful show, and I guarantee you'll enjoy it. It's a ride of your life.
You know, I agree.
Thank you so much, man.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with...
I'm Sammy Wayne from Robo Theater Company. I'm an actor, director, lighting designer, stage manager. Been in the business for a number of years. But my proudest accomplishment is I'm a father of a high school senior. I played Johnny Williams, the owner of Johnny's Place here at No Place to Be Somebody. Well, Johnny is basically, he's a pimp. He's a pimp in 1969 who's running this bar that was left to him by his mentor, Sweets Crane, who is also a gangster. Sweets is in jail for 10 years. He's getting out. He comes back, and Johnny thinks that now when Sweets is getting out, that we are going to take over the city of New York. Sweets gets out of prison, has a change of heart, and he doesn't want to be a gangster anymore. And Johnny, me, ain't having it. That's the synopsis.
I loved your performance. I thought it was fantastic. I just loved it.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I love anti-heroes. Like in Breaking Bad, where basically, it's almost like Richard III.
Right.
I think you just did a fantastic job.
Thank you. I love these characters. That's a good point, because a lot of times people are bad, not necessarily because of anything other than the circumstances that they're faced with. This character, and this is what he was taught. And one of the things I tried not to do was judge him, good or bad, but just be him. And, be true to the spirit that was created by Charles Cardone, the writer. And, and the guidance given by the director, Ben Guillory.
What do you think about this play? I mean, the heart and soul of it.
Well, actually, I love it, because one of the things that it does is it basically takes all of those negative stereotypes that you hear about black men, puts them basically in one character to show just how asinine that whole theory is. And it also shows you the end results of what it would be like if we were that way. Yeah.
Well, once again, I loved your performance. I love this show. I wish everyone would come by and see it. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Much love and peace.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Hawthorne James. I've done a lot of theater. I have a bachelor's from Notre Dame, master's from the University of Michigan. I went to London, studied at the London Shakespeare Academy, and got scholarship offers from Yale and Cornell. But I've been here in LA, and some of the films I've done are Color Purple, Speed, Seven, The Five Heartbeats. TV, I've done Cheers and Frasier and bunches of it. I play Sweets Crane. This character is a guy who was a gangster in New York, and he went to jail for murder, got out 10 years later, and he was a mentor to the lead character, which is Johnny, and he's trying to turn his life around. He left Johnny all his worldly possessions. He's dying now, but he's trying to do something to change Johnny and his perception of what he made him, because he was Johnny's mentor. He raised him as a kid.
I thought your performance was outstanding. It was wonderful.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Yeah, I love anti-heroes. I love characters too. Your character actors. You were a fantastic character actor.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, but see, my thing about that is when you say character actors, I think you demean sometimes, because an actor does create characters. I think character actors are those that can only do one character, a la, I won't say the names, but those who do it. But we are actors, and as actors, we create characters. So just call me an actor.
Okay, you are a wonderful actor tonight.
Thank you, sir.
If one of my viewers came by and saw this, what should they expect to see?
They should, I can't say entertained, but educated, enlightened, because the people in this show, especially all the young kids, I look at them and it gave me a lot of hope, because I don't see a lot of training for young actors right now. But these kids take their craft seriously. They have studied, they have gone to school, and it shows. They're very professional behind the scenes. They come in with a work ethic, and it's about the longevity of these kids. So that and the other people, like Sammy Wayne and a couple of other people that I know, are just professionals, and I love working with professionals and people who work and take this craft seriously.
Once again, I love your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Allison Blaze. I grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana. I graduated from the University of New Orleans with a bachelor's in theater. About a year and a half ago, I moved to LA and went to AMDA, and I just graduated from there a month and a half ago.
Great. And which character did you play?
Dee Jacobson. Dee is a beautiful and poignant character. She is a prostitute, and she is in love with her man, Johnny. And basically, she's not really happy with the life that she's in, and she essentially wants to find a place to be somebody, and that's just not quite going for her.
I love the performances tonight. It was very dark, very gritty. I just loved it. If my viewers came by here, what should they expect to see?
I think you kind of hit on it. The word raw comes to mind, and when I'm out there, that's what I'm trying to achieve with these characters. And with all of the characters in the show, they really can't find a place to be, and they just try to fit into this puzzle that society has created for us to fit into that mold, and it's not working for them. And so I think that expect to see a really bare and vulnerable performances, because these people are fighting for something that they've just been trying to get their entire lives. So yeah, raw. Something raw and something vulnerable and something fun and exciting and also tragic at the same time, because anything that is heartbreaking has a little humor to it. So I think you should expect to see that.
Once again, I love the performances tonight. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Ben Landmesser. I'm originally from Chicago. I just graduated from AMDA LA with a BFA. This is my first professional show in Los Angeles. There are a couple AMDA people actually in this production. Very proud to be working with the Roby. I feel like it's a play that I would not be able to do very often in my career, so I'm glad to get this opportunity. I play Shanty Mulligan. He's kind of a wannabe jazz musician. I think he thinks he's a little bit better of a drummer than he actually is. I think he wants to be in this world of this bar, of this play, and he tries to convince himself and everyone else that he belongs.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this, what should they expect to see?
I think they should expect to see the pursuit of the American dream, at least one character's view of the American dream, and kind of the sacrifices one has to make to pursue that dream. That's, I think, what this play is about, roughly.
What I take from this is when I was younger, I actually had to read some black poetry, just, because it was required. I never understood it at all. Never understood it. Never understood the rhythm, never understood the anguish or the drama. I mean, I understood that, there are hardships everywhere, but I never really understood it. I think with seeing this play and hearing the poetry, I finally kind of understand it.
Yeah, well, I think, same, upper middle class white kid from the north side of Chicago, not really exposed to this type of language and world and themes very often, or as much as I would like. I think more than anything, it's just about kind of like feeling it and hearing it and getting used to those ideas and those themes and those struggles that I think a lot of people, hopefully, that might come and see this play wouldn't be familiar with as well. Yeah.
Well, I really enjoyed myself. I really liked it. It was a very, very good play, and I thought your acting was very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
for being on the show.
Of course. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Casey Rogers. So I'm from Houston, Texas, and I moved here about 2 years ago. Went to AMDA, the American Musical and Dramatic Academy, in the studio acting program, and finished and got this gig, and just making it work ever since.
Great. And which character did you play?
Cora Belle Beasley. Cora is everyone's big little sister and everyone's mother. She just wants someone to take care of and someone to love her for who she is. I think she's one of the strongest characters I've ever played. Some great vulnerability in there, but also a lot of just raw strength and not letting odds of life get her down.
I love the play tonight. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
If one of my viewers came by and saw this, what should they expect to see?
I think that the show is brilliantly written in archetypes. So the same types of people that you would have met back in the 60s during the Civil Rights era, where you had the people who were all for the movement, even though maybe it wasn't their struggle, or the people who thought that maybe it was all a waste of time, or the people who were ready to get out there on the front lines. You have all of those people. And I think it really brilliantly echoes what's happening right now with Black Lives Matter and all of the different movements and social change that's going on right now. So they should just expect to see how little things have changed since that time, and whether that makes them sad or whether it makes them happy, I think it'll make them think either way.
Once again, I love the performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Gianluca Malacrino. I'm Italian from the UK. I moved over here 2 years ago. My first production with the Roby Theatre Company, and had an incredible time. I'm playing the famous Mike Mafucci, the New York gangster. His name's Mike Mafucci, so he's an up-and-coming gangster, works for the main mob guy, Pizzaroni, and he's coming basically to take care of some business and find out what's going on.
So if one of my viewers came by and saw this play, what should they expect to see?
Oh, they should be on the edge of their seats, and really the play talks about realist terms today that were still, present back then, 50, 60 years ago. So I would say, action, a lot of drama, and a bit of comedy as well.
Why did you decide to come to act in the United States? I hear England has a fantastic theater community.
It does have a fantastic theatre company. However, before this I was in business doing bars and clubs, and then I found AMDA, which is the school I graduated from, and got a scholarship there. Moved out here again just under 2 years ago. Had great training, met some great contacts, and I'm doing what I've set out to do and enjoying it.
Okay. Well, I loved your performance. I loved everyone's performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good day.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm at KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Sadaka Muhammad. I'm an actress. I'm so happy to be in this wonderful production of No Place to Be Somebody with Roby Theater Company. It's a great show. You guys should definitely come out and see it. It runs from April 2nd to May 8th. Wonderful production directed by Ben Gilroy, and it's absolutely great and awesome. I play the character Evie. She is a woman of the night. She's a complicated character. She's trying to get out of the life of, being a woman of the night. And she has a relationship with her friend Dee in the play, and it's just the things that they go through and how she's trying to, get her friend out of the life as well. So it's everything that happens to these characters, all their stories of what's going on in this one particular bar and how their lives intertwine and intersect. So it's a really great play, and you have to come see it to see more about what it's about.
Yeah, well, I loved it also. I thought it was very dark, but also very entertaining, very exciting, very shocking at times too.
Yeah. It's a lot of great moments. It's a play that'll make you think. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you, want more. It's a great play to come and see and check out.
Okay, well, once again, I love the play. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Daryl Phillip. I was born and raised in Texas. I moved here and became an actor. I've been acting since I was about 3 years old, and I do a lot of theater, commercials, television, film. And I'm working with Roby Theater Company on No Place to Be Somebody, and I play Judge Bolton, the corrupt judge, official who is very sinister and very evil.
So what did you think about this play?
It's very well written. It's about a lot of great characters. It's about a bar where hookers go to get drunk fast. And all the different characters that come to this bar and all the different lifestyles and how they come together and diversity. And it's a lot of fun, and it's always a pleasure and an honor to work with Ben Gilroy. He's the greatest director that ever lived.
What I got from this is basically, I've never understood black poetry before. I mean, I've read it before. They made me read it in college. I never really understood it, though. I never understood the passion, the anguish, the grit, the darkness. Well, what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's hard for other people to understand completely what they've been through, but we can still appreciate it and enjoy it for what it is, and the beauty of it and the art of it. And there's a lot of that in this piece. There's a lot of great monologues. Leith Burke does some killer monologues playing the part of Gabe that he was born to play. It was like it was written for him. And it's worth it just to see him alone, but every single character is outstanding in this play. Please come see it. You won't be disappointed.
I agree. I really like the play. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you, sir. It was good to meet you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Megan Lang. I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico. I came out here 2 years ago to be an actress, and this is my first show out here in LA.
Great. And which character did you play?
Mary Lou Bolton. She is an activist who is trying her best, but she's a little naive and a little unexperienced.
So what do you think of this play?
This play it's a really important play to be putting on right now. It says a lot about what's going on in the world today, even though it was written 50 years ago, and it's very relevant. It's a very, very important play to come see.
Well, I loved your acting. I loved everyone's acting, actually. So I thought you guys did a fantastic job. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Of course, thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Monty Montgomery. I played Detective Capoletti. Detective Capoletti, just like the rest of the crew, is pretty dirty, but he can't stand Johnny. So he's not taking no lip off Johnny, but he is dirty just like the rest of the cops. So he plays his role just to try and keep the peace, keep everything under wraps. But at the end of the day, again, he's just another dirty cop.
I love the performance tonight.
Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you all coming out tonight.
If my audience decided to come here, what should they expect to see?
They should expect to see something exciting that comes from 1969 and Harlem, New York. If you've never made it to New York, if you come out to the theater, you will be in New York, no doubt about it. 1969. Come on out.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. Take care.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Matt Jennings. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, moved out to Long Beach, California when I was about 6 years old, moved up to LA when I was 26, and I've just been doing the actor thing ever since, doing plays, doing my own plays, working on film projects with friends, getting that started. That's the life.
Great, and which character did you play?
Melvin Smelts. Melvin Smelts is the short order cook in Johnny's bar. He is in his day job is working at the bar. His nightlife, what he really wants to do is he wants to be a ballet dancer. That's his dream. I think he's developed a certain family at the bar with Johnny, and I think that's part of the reason why he continues to work there and why he stays. I don't think he has much of a biological family, so I think that Johnny's bar is his family. It's what he has, so it's very important to him.
Yeah. I really can't get a finger on your character. It seems a little out of place. Your character is kind of a happy character. The rest of the characters are kind of going through despair.
Melvin has a lot. There's a lot under the surface with Melvin, and I think towards the end, every character has an arc in the show, which I think is amazing. Every character has a resolution, and I think with Melvin, you see things start to unravel with him towards the end. His happiness is a way to keep him sane with everything that is happening to him, everything that's going to happen to him. It's his security.
Well, once again, I did love everyone's performance. I liked your performance too. I looked at it as kind of an optimistic side of the story and all that. Maybe everyone could be like that or something like that. But whatever case may, I actually like the play very much.
Yes, thank you. I think each character shows a voice that the writer had in the show. You have the optimist about race relations in 1969. You have characters like Johnny, who are the exact opposite of the optimist, that has a very pessimistic view of race relations and how things will continue to go past 1969. You have characters like Shanty, who are working for Johnny and have a feeling of not necessarily white supremacy, but a feeling of white is right, and maybe I don't need to work in this bar under this black male. Maybe I need to take care of myself. There are a lot of voices in this show, and I think they all show themselves through the characters.
Okay, once again, I love the play. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
No Place to Be Somebody will be playing at the Los Angeles Theater Center from April 2nd to May 8th. For more information, go to www.robytheatercompany.com.